Thank you very much, Lisa. Yes, we are here finally, fight week. Royal Battle. It's going to be a entertaining card from top to bottom. Headlined by Amir Khan versus Devon Alexander, and we are just thrilled to be giving you such an amazing card from top to bottom with a co-main event featuring Keith Thurman against Leonard Bundu, which will be a WBA title fight, 12 rounds. And we also have Abner Maris, you have Jarmel Charlo, and you also have the return of Victor Ortiz, which I'm hearing he's looking better and stronger and faster, mentally tough. So, yeah, we're really looking forward to this event being a great one. At this moment, let me take this opportunity to introduce to you the first participant. He is accompanied by his great trainer, Kevin Cunningham. And let me introduce to you, to say a few words before we start the Q&A, Devon Alexander. Devon.
Hello, thanks, Oscar. How are you guys doing? To all the media, thanks for having me. Thanks for being on the call. Like everyone said, this is a tremendous opportunity for me. I'm excited to actually get my chance to be in the bright lights at the MGM Grand. This is an opportunity I've been waiting for since I was 7 years old, and I'm going to take full advantage of it. So, again, I want to thank Golden Boy. I want to thank all the participants who got this fight done, and I'm ready to rock and roll.
All right, thank you very much. And you know, you can't have a great fighter without having a great trainer. And at this moment, let me introduce to you to also say a few words and speak about the preparation and what's been going on behind that is the great Kevin Cunningham. Kevin.
Hey, how you doing, Oscar?
Good, thanks.
I want to thank everybody on the call. Thank all the press and the media for taking time out for this press conference call. And it's a huge fight, huge ramifications. And thank everybody involved, Golden Boy, Al Heyman, great promotions, Khan Promotions, and for the most part, this is the type of fight that every fighter wants. A very big fight. It's the end of the year, so it's the last fight of the year, and it's one of the biggest fights of the year. So, we plan on ending the year with a bang. This fight will catapult the winner into Mayweather sweepstakes, Pacquiao sweepstakes. So it's huge. It doesn't get any bigger than this. And Devon's up for it. We had a tremendous training camp, great sparring, and we're ready to go.
All right, thank you very much, Virgil. And before we go,
hey, Oscar, this ain't Virgil.
Hello. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Sorry. Before we go to Amir and Virgil, I'm sorry. Before we go to Amir and Virgil, let me just give you a few details on the Showtime Championship boxing event that's taking place this Saturday. The telecast will begin at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. This event is being promoted by Golden Boy Promotions in association with Khan Promotions and Great Promotions. We are obviously extremely proud and happy to be working alongside our great sponsors that Golden Boy has. That's Corona X, thanks to AT&T, and Mexico, live it, believe it. The tickets are priced at $300, $200, $150. Tickets are going excellent, and we do expect a tremendous turnout. That goes to show you what kind of a fight this is. This is an even fight. This is a fight that obviously will put both guys in line once again for that Mayweather sweepstakes. So we are really looking forward to once again showcasing this event live from the MGM Grand Arena in Las Vegas. So
we feel that the winner of this event will obviously move on to that and hit the lottery with hopefully a Mayweather fight down the line. We have also Showtime Extreme, which I mentioned, which will be showcasing highlights of Victor Ortiz. Errol Spence Jr. will be on the telecast as well. We have Jarmel Charlo versus Mario Lozano. That'll be a 10-round junior middleweight fight. So this card is really stacked, and we are really looking forward to it. So now, for all the media, we can now go to a couple of questions before we go into Amir Khan.
Thank you. If you would like to ask a question or have a comment, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad. This will place your question in the order it was received. Once again, if you would like to ask a question, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad now. And our first question comes from Steve Karp with Las Vegas Review.
Yeah, hey, good morning, guys. Hi, Devon. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thank you. Look forward to seeing you fight here in Vegas. It's been way too long. This fight, as you know, was supposed to have taken place a year ago. You wound up losing to Sean Porter on the night you probably could have beaten Amir Khan and fought him. Here's my question, and maybe, Kevin, you could also weigh in. How different is it fighting him a year later with a loss than had you fought him a year ago coming off a win against, Lee Purdy? You had a nice run going there before you lost to Porter.
Well, first of all, he's coming off a win. Porter wasn't his last fight.
Kevin. No, I'm saying fighting him now compared to fighting him a year ago.
Well, fighting him now, the only thing different about the fight is the fact that we're not coming in as the champion. That's the only difference I see in it.
Mm-hmm. Devin, what are your thoughts about fighting him now compared to fighting him a year ago?
Well, me personally, I feel the same way. Just I'm not champion anymore, but the stakes is still high, and the reward is still there. So there's no difference. None of us, now one of us has lost. Recently. So I don't see any difference. Both of us are still going to be hungry. Both of us know what's at stake. So it's no difference.
Kevin, did you prepare Devin a little differently, given that Amir may be a different fighter now that Virgil Hunter's working with him?
Well, we prepared based off the challenge ahead of us and the opponent ahead of us. I mean, each opponent is different, so we prepare based off what we're dealing with and what style and the type of opponent we're dealing with. So there's always different preparations for each fighter because there's different styles, different techniques. So you got to come with different strategies for different opponents. So we prepared, for Amir Khan, the best Amir Khan that could possibly show up Saturday night. That's what we prepared for. He's with Virgil, and he's a better fighter since he looks to me to have improved since being trained by Virgil Hunter, and that's the Amir Khan we prepared for.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was pointing at, that he seems to be an improved fighter under Virgil, and this fighter is a different fighter than what you would have fought a year ago.
Well, I think he was with Virgil last year when we were supposed to fight him, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he was just starting with him at the time.
Yeah.
So now he's had a fight or two with him, so, perhaps they've got a little chemistry going now, and everything.
Well, the fact that Virgil is his trainer, and Virgil happens to be also a good friend of mine, that just got my juices flowing even more. So that could be trouble for Khan.
Yeah. All right, guys, I'll let you go. We'll see you later in the week. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you very much, guys. And now let me. This is Oscar. Let me take this opportunity to introduce to you who has joined us on the call. That is Amir Khan with...
Wait. Oscar. We have a lot of questions for Devon. Do we want to just keep going with those and then we can switch over just so we give them both their own time?
I just didn't want to make Amir wait.
Oh, okay. Well, let's just take one or two more and then we can open it up for both. Let's do that, okay?
Okay, good.
Michelle,
Our next question comes from Dan Raphael with ESPN.
Thank you very much. Hello, Kevin, Oscar, and Devin. Good to talk with you guys.
What's up, Dan, my man?
Thanks.
Hey, my question, it's not exactly what Steve was asking, but what I'm curious about is, Kevin, you made a point to mention that the only thing really different about fighting this fight now than was a year ago when you were supposed to fight is that Devin does not come in as a champion, so there's no title at stake. But as Oscar alluded to and talked about, there is a lot at stake because I don't think it's any secret that the winner of the fight is going to be right there in that Mayweather sweepstakes, in the event that they don't make a Pacquiao fight, which I think most people think is a long shot. So my question for you is, I know you're focused, Devin, on getting in the ring with Amir Khan. You got to win the fight. But is it at all in your mind that this is maybe that last step to the big mega fight that I know that you've wanted for some time?
Definitely, Dan. This. I didn't say the fight wasn't as big because we weren't coming in as champion because the stakes are still high, and the whole purpose of the first fight was to catapult the winner into a Mayweather mix. So it's still the stakes are still high, and the ultimate prize is still there. So I mean, we're just excited, just as jacked up as we were for the first fight. So I mean, it doesn't get any bigger than this, and we know what the stakes are. We know what the type of position that you'll be put in coming off a win in this fight. So, I mean, it doesn't get any bigger than this, Dan. So, I mean, the fighters, I'm not sure both fighters, but I know Devin for sure is super excited, focused, and ready to go.
Hey, Devin, can you speak about that? I mean, you don't have a title, but in some ways, winning this fight could be even bigger than winning a belt or defending a belt because of what we were just talking about with Kevin, that this could, in fact, be the last step for both you and Amir to get into a fight with Mayweather. Your thoughts about that? Do you try not to think about it? Does it motivate you? What are your thoughts about the prospect of putting on a performance against Amir on Saturday and then maybe propelling yourself into that caliber of an event?
Well, like my coach said, I mean, this is definitely exciting, and it's in the back of my head, and a fighter be lying to say, okay, I'm not thinking about that. I'm thinking about the opponent ahead, but, they'll be lying. So it's in the back of my head, but my sole focus is Amir Khan. And, everybody knows what can be after the fight, but I'm focused on Amir Khan, what he brings to the table. And, after this, then we'll talk. But other than that, my solely focus is on Amir Khan.
Okay, I want to ask then about this, too. Your last fight in June against Soto Carras obviously was a good performance. You looked good. It was exciting. You won pretty handily. But the fight before that was the Porter fight where, by your own admission, not even close to your best performance. What do you think went wrong that night, and how have you changed when you're going in with Khan, who is probably a fighter that's more on the same level of a Porter than of a Soto Carras?
Well, in that fight, I wasn't thinking. In that fight, I didn't follow the game plan. Mentally, I wasn't there. Mentally, I was just not using my skill in that fight. Mentally, I just wasn't there.
Any reason,
I
Devin?
just my legs, huh?
Any reason for that?
Not at all. Not at all. No reason for that. And I took him a little lightly because I beat him in amateurs, but there's no excuse. There's no excuse. But I know that the loss was from what I didn't do. It's not what Sean Porter did. He was a magnificent fighter. He had all these skills, but it was just something that I didn't do, and it won't happen again. I promise you.
And with Khan, you then think that he fits into your style of fighting because he's a fast fighter. He's got quick hands. He's got good power.
Yeah, he fit, every fight fits in my style of fight. I just gotta know their weaknesses and what I gotta do is outpower them and outsmart them. So, every fighter can be beat. It's about the team coming up with the game plan to beat the guy that's in front of you. So, I don't see anything special with Khan. He's a little fast, but what else? Everybody's fast. But what else? You gotta have something else in your arsenal. At the top level. So.
Gotcha. All right, Devon. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you very much. Good luck with everything on Saturday.
All right. Thanks, Dan.
Our next question comes from Jake Donovan with BoxingScene.com.
Hey, Devon, I have two questions for you. Only one's related to boxing, kind of. Why has it taken so long for you to make your way to Vegas? Was it something that just wasn't on your radar, or was it just the right opportunity that came along until now?
Yeah, it was all because of the opportunity. I wasn't presented with the time to fight in Vegas. A couple of times in my beginning of my career when I was supposed to, it always fell through. But like I said, I said to myself, whenever I do fight in Vegas, it's going to be for something big, and what's bigger than this, and at the MGM Grand. So I'm excited to be in Vegas for this one.
Okay, cool. The next question is more of a political nature. Given all that's going on, and in Ferguson specifically, do you feel like this is a fight where your corner of the world really needs a win?
Yeah, I mean, yes, of course. I want to bring all the positivity. I know all St. Louis is going to be looking at me from the Ferguson situation. They looking for something positive to come along with all of the rioting and everything like that. And this win is going to, make them feel like they won too. So I definitely want to make it, definitely want to look good and make a statement doing it and bring this victory back home to St. Louis.
Statement. All right, I got a question. It could be for you and Kevin. Does it kind of bother you that it almost seems like civil rights is being ignored in boxing? Like there's no, Muhammad Ali was one of a kind, but I just don't see him standing for what's going on in America today. Does it kind of bother you that nobody's really speaking up, and it seems like they're just using boxing as a sport, not for the proper platform?
Yeah, it's just, everybody, you get scrutinized when you come out and say something, or it's like you get punished for, saying what you feel nowadays, or saying the truth nowadays. So, a lot of people are scared, to say anything. So, if the time's right for me to say something, I'm definitely going to say something. And,
right.
It's just what it is. You have to be real sometimes, and you have to tell the truth at times. And you just can't. You got to worry about the consequences later. I mean, if it's the truth and it's real, then how can anybody argue with it?
Gotcha. Thanks, Devin. Kevin, do you have any comment on that?
I just think everybody's want to stay politically correct because everybody's image conscious, so they're focused on their image and. And then what you got, you got corporate sponsors, and, you got to be careful, about pissing off your sponsors and whatnot. So you don't have a lot of the guys that stood up like the Muhammad Ali's and the Jim Browns and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's were back in the day. But, like you said, that's a political situation, and everybody wants to be on the right side of the political issue or the in terms of their image and want to stay politically correct because of monetary values and protect their sponsors or protect they don't want to screw over their career, and people will turn on you if the wrong thing comes out your mouth, because once it goes out there, you can't take it back. So you got to be kind of careful. But if it's the truth and it's from the heart, I don't see any problem with speaking up for what's right.
All right, cool. Thanks, Kevin. Devin, best of luck this weekend.
Our next question comes from Lem Satterfield with theringtv.com.
Hey guys, how are you?
What's up, Lamb?
Hey, Kevin, picking up, I was going to ask the same question Jake did, but I'll just ask briefly to you. You know, how close is Ferguson to where Devon grew up? And, you know, how much do you think about now what you helped to save Devon from when you think about situations that happen like that? Because obviously he's one of the very few who you started with who actually came out of that, and he had a video which referenced that recently that was done by Showtime.
Well, Devon grew up about 20 minutes from Ferguson, but I grew up in Ferguson, went to Ferguson Junior High and the Ferguson McClure High School, which is in Ferguson. So I actually grew up in Ferguson. Devon grew up maybe 15 minutes away from Ferguson. So, you know, hey, it's a sad situation, but I mean, I think it's a situation that's taking place not only in Ferguson, but it's all over the country. I mean, when you know, you got the powers that be and the city hall and the police department doesn't represent the community that it's serving, you're going to always have problems. So, I mean, until we get to a point to where we can go out and vote and put people in office that understands the people in the community that they're representing, there's going to always be problems. So, and I think that's a nationwide problem, not just a Ferguson problem.
Okay, Kevin, last question on that. Are you guys going to do anything visually to represent what you're going to do in the ring in terms of representing St. Louis? Like,
yeah, we're gonna represent St. Louis the way we always represent St. Louis. But you know, we'll have Mike Brown Sr. He'll be at the fight with us. So you know, and that's pretty much what we're doing in a nutshell in reference to that.
Kevin, thank you so much for answering that question. Oscar, you there?
I'm here.
Oscar, can you talk about the light that's going to be shined, the spotlight's going to be shined on the welterweight division on Saturday night, given that, you know, obviously Tim Bradley's fighting Chavez and, you know, Khan's fighting Alexander, and then Keith Thurman is also fighting that night, and what emphasis that puts on those fighters, Keith, Alexander, Khan, and Bradley, to really step up and be the one that is being talked about on the internet later on that night at midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning.
Well, yeah, I mean, absolutely. The welterweight division will have all their eyes on it this Saturday. You know, with Amir and Devon. You mentioned Tim Bradley, Keith Thurman. You know, winners out of those fights will be in line and knocking on that door. You know, to fight Mayweather or Pacquiao. You know, this is a very important night, and that's why ticket sales are going extremely well. That's why both fighters know what's at stake, and you know, I think we're going to not only get an entertaining night of boxing for all the fans, but we're also going to have a clearer picture on who's going to be fighting Mayweather and Pacquiao next.
Okay, thank you. Devon?
I'm here.
Hey, buddy. Piggybacking off of what Oscar just said, how important is it for you to, obviously you can win the fight, but given that the stakes are really high and, you know, all those welterweights are fighting that night, what are you going to do to be the last man that they're talking about on Saturday night? Is a win going to be okay, or do you really need to look, you know?
Well, I just gotta bring out all the stops in this fight. I gotta bring my skills, and it's just gotta be me. I need to be Devon Alexander the Great. The guy, that's been that guy's been knowing me for, that knows me as that I'm going back to the days where people knew me as up and coming star. You know, that's the performance I'm looking for, and that's what I'm bringing to this fight. I definitely need to win, and I want to look good doing it. You know, I think all of the winners that night, you know, it's going to be a lot of people looking at them and saying these are the future of welterweight. So I definitely want to look good doing it.
We've seen you at ringside several times for several fights in Las Vegas. You know, this being your first fight in Las Vegas, are you going to be composed? Are you going to, you know, is it going to be nerves? Is it, or did those previous experiences and longing to be there at those other fights, is that going to be enough preparation for you?
Yes, of course. I've been on a big stage before, and I'm definitely been prepped. And those are the times that was prepping me for the time for the MGM Grand. Those all the times that I've been, you know, coming to the ring and getting ready and getting those nerves out. You know, that's preparing me for the MGM Grand. So, actually, I'm actually kind of excited. You know, I'm kind of in the mood of just smiling and being happy and enjoying the moment. And I'm just ready to get in there and do what I do and show people how good I am. So I'm definitely going to take full advantage of this situation. So no nerves at all, just happiness.
The last question for you, is it almost more appropriate that you're making your Las Vegas debut as a fighter, given what is at stake and given that this could be, you know, the jumping off point, the culmination of all sort of your frustrations about not getting certain fights, you know, not stepping up when you should have at the right time? Is it almost more appropriate that this is your debut?
Oh, definitely. Man, it can't get no bigger than this. And, you know, you're in Vegas at the MGM Grand inside the building, where, you know, all the top fights go. So it doesn't get any bigger than that, you know. A lot of answers going to be questions, you know, December 13th. And I plan on being victorious. I plan on just telling people the next day how I did it and how I was able to dismantle Khan.
Devon, thank you so much, and good luck in the fight.
Okay, we're going to take two more questions for Devon and Kevin, then we'll move on to Amir. So, Rosalda, please take the next question.
Our next question comes from Mike with Sweet Science.
Hi, guys. Thanks for taking the time to do the call. I appreciate it. The question is for Oscar. Oscar, are you working under the assumption that we're not going to see a Mayweather-Pacquiao fight next, and that's why these guys have a chance to step in with Floyd?
Well, I'm just speaking. You know, as a promoter on what these fighters deserve. I don't know if the Pacquiao or Mayweather fight's going to happen. I have no idea.
Okay, you don't have the inside information that you're working off of, and that you're not making an assumption either way. You're just setting that up in case it doesn't happen. The idea.
Well, the world has been waiting for it for 4 years. But what makes? Right. Why should I believe that it's going to happen now?
Right. Devon, I do wonder, are you believing that Khan has passed the problems that he's had with his chin, or do you think that's tightened up under Virgil Hunter?
Can you repeat the question again?
The question is for Devon. I'm wondering if you believe that Khan still has issues with his chin, or do you think he's tightened up his Virgil Hunter?
You know, in my very, very best opinion, you know, if you got a, you know, shaky chin, you know, if this is boxing, if he's just not born with a chin or able to, if you're not born with able to take a punch, you know, you're always going to have troubles. You know, you're always going to have troubles with a good shot. It's about, you know, being able to be in a good position not to get hit with, you know, good shots. And I think Virgil's working on with that, and he's trying to correct that. But This is fighting, so if you gotta be able to take a shot because you're going to get hit.
And last one, this question is for Kevin. Kevin, you and I have talked about this before, wondering if Floyd would fight an athlete, the sort of athlete that Devon is. Do you assume that he would take the fight, especially if Devon won and looked good?
I mean, I don't see why he wouldn't. I mean, Floyd has fought everybody, so, you know, I mean, I haven't seen Floyd ducking anybody, so, I mean, this is a huge fight. It's a huge promotion. These are two of the bigger names in the welterweight division, and the winner of this fight deserves a shot at Floyd. So I think Floyd would step up and give the winner of this fight a shot for sure. And it's been a while since Floyd has fought a athletic, quick African American fighter anyway. So I think he would step up to the challenge.
Think he will step up?
I think he would. I think he'd step up and give the winner of this fight a shot, regardless if it's Devon or Amir Khan.
All right, thanks, Kevin. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
And the last question for this group comes from Erica Wright with Fox Deportes.
Oscar, si me escuchas, te saluda Erika Wright desde Fox Deportes en español. Déjame saber las claves. Te saludo con mucho gusto. Déjame saber las claves para que Amir Khan pueda conseguir una victoria sobre Devon Alexander y déjame también saber las claves que necesita Devon para poder derrotar a un rápido y fuerte y poderoso inglés.
Sí, pues en mi opinión, las claves obviamente es la rapidez, la velocidad de Amir Khan. También el poder en sus puños, porque en las 147 libras Amir Khan está más fuerte, está sintiendo sus golpes más poder, así que la clave es sí, mucho poder con mucha velocidad. Devon Alexander, yo creo que la clave va a ser la inteligencia con las combinaciones rápidas que sabe tirar.
Amir Khan batalló ante Danny García, pierde ante Danny García, también perdió ante Lamont Peterson, que después hubo controversia con algunas sustancias prohibidas. ¿Qué puede aprender Amir Khan de la batalla ante Lamont Peterson, que es un estilo muy similar al de Devon Alexander?
Sí, pues yo creo que obviamente pues las experiencias te enseñan, ¿no? Para no cometer los mismos errores. Yo creo que Amir Khan está bien preparado. Por esa razón yo creo que Amir Khan va a estar moviéndose mucho lateralmente, tirando bastantes combinaciones para tratar de noquear a Devon Alexander.
Oscar, can you kind of just wait, Sam, 1 second. Oscar, can you kind of just summarize what she asked you and what you said in English really quickly?
I was getting to that now. So
okay,
she asked me what are the keys, what's the key to Amir Khan winning and what's the key to Devon Alexander winning? Well, I actually have no idea. I'm the guy outside looking in. I didn't train both guys. I didn't get in there. But from a fighter's perspective, from a promoter's perspective, I think Amir Khan. You know, we all know he has speed. He's developed a lot of power now at 147 pounds, and you know, there's a lot of great things that Amir Khan does, and likewise goes to Devon Alexander. I mean, he's a great fighter, and that's why they call him the Great. He's a guy who can adjust. He's a guy who is fast and strong, and you know, and the great thing about this fight is that both guys, not that they have something to prove, but they want to prove something in this fight Saturday night. So it's going to be entertaining.
Pues le deseamos un feliz cumpleaños a Amir Khan. Sé que el día de hoy está cumpliendo 28 años. Amir Khan, ¿crees que eso podría ser un impulso para su madurez, para mostrar que ahora es un boxeador de más seguridad, de más confianza, de más madurez?
Sí, claro que sí. Obviamente, pues tiene mucha experiencia Amir Khan y pues en estos días de su cumpleaños pues va a ser ojalá una semana pues en donde va a salir más motivado, con más experiencia y pues quiere demostrar que tiene la hambre para seguir para adelante.
Gracias, Oscar.
Okay, we are going to turn it over to Amir and Virgil Hunter, but Before we do that, do you guys have any closing comments? Devon, do you want to make a quick closing comment, and then we will move on? Devon?
Huh?
Can you just make one quick closing comment, and then we can...
Okay. I just thanks for all the media. Thanks to Oscar again, who's done a tremendous job with my career since I've been with him, and thank you to MG Grant, everybody that had something to do with the fight getting made, and see you guys this week. I'm big excited, and it's going to be an awesome fight.
Today is Amir Khan's birthday, so we want to wish Amir Khan a very happy birthday. Happy birthday, Amir Khan. He's the former unified super lightweight world champion, and he's won numerous world titles. He keeps on proving over and over and over again what type of fighter he is on a world-class stage. He had a tremendous win against a young, hungry, at his peak at the moment, Marcos Maidana, where he just proved and showed to the world what a warrior he is. So let me introduce to you facing Devon Alexander with a record of 29-3 with 19 KOs out of Bolton, England. That is Amir Khan. Amir.
Hi, Oscar. Thanks for the introduction. I just want to say thanks to all the media for taking part in the conference call. Training camp's been really good. I feel in great shape. Not far off the weight. The weight's been good as well, and really focused for this fight. Not looking past this fight, just looking at Devon Alexander. I've been working with Virgil Hunter, my trainer, on how to beat him, sticking to that game plan in the fight. And then, also been doing a lot of strength conditioning work. So we're going to be in full condition and great condition for this fight. If it goes the full distance, we're going to be ready. We're going to be in front of Devon, and we're going to have the engine to go all the way through with a good work rate and a good volume of punches. We've been in camp around about 12, 13 weeks. I've been in training camp. I've had a dietitian, I've had a chef cooking for me, sure I've had the right food, and I'm taking the right food and everything, which I think has made a massive difference in how I feel when I go in the gym and train. So I'm not cheating myself in any way. I'm getting massages at the right time, feeling fresh. I've had great sparring partners, flown guys over from all over America to come spar with me. And heavy guys and light guys and guys who move, guys who come forward, guys who put on me. So on every different angle, we don't know what we're going to be expecting. I've been watching videos of Devon. Devon's a good fighter going back. He's a hard fighter going forward. So we've worked on everything possible really. We've not done anything out. So when we come to fight night, on December 30th, Saturday, we're going to be ready for whatever he brings to the table, and we can have all the answers. Just want to say thanks again for joining the conference call, and that's everything from me. Thanks.
If you would like to ask a question or have a comment, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad. This will place your question in the order it was received. Once again, if you would like to ask a question, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad now. Our first question comes from Brian Campbell with ESPN.com.
Amir, thanks for the time here. This fight, of course, was one that almost came off a year ago. Do you regret not taking it then and rolling the dice on trying to get Floyd back then? Do you regret that now when you look back?
Well, I think things happen for a reason, and I think it was my first fight at the 147-pound division. So it didn't happen last December because obviously, we changed a few things, and I was hoping for the big fight against Floyd, and that fell through. But it really, in a way, has given me time to build into this weight division. Even though, in a way, I missed out a fight, I got to, work on what I need to work on, like my boxing skills and defense, and take my time. And when you're in training camps and focusing on your fighter and how to beat a fighter, how to beat an opponent, it's all you never really work on your mistakes. But whereas the time when I didn't really have an opponent, I was just working on improving myself, keeping in the gym, focusing. I mean, I had back-to-back training camps. So that when I did have that fight in May against Collazo, it was a great performance. So it showed me a lot of things, and it proved to me a lot of things that spending time in training camp, in between camps, in between fights, does make you a better fighter. So I think Devon got me at a better time. I feel I'm much more better at 147 now. I feel stronger at this way, and I'm going to be more than ready. I'm going to be more ready than I was last year.
Do you feel in hindsight that you were deceived by the Mayweather camp at all?
Well, that's life. I mean, it's just one of them things. And look, like I said, everything happens for a reason, and it wasn't meant to be my time. And, I'm not going to let it get to me, but I used it in a way as an advantage, to help me and to kind of make me, work on things I needed to and spend a lot of time in the gym. And they helped me to do that. So when I did have my first fight at 147, I was very strong, and I was on top of my game.
And last question, now that you've had more time to work with Virgil, would you say that you're focusing on getting in less exchanges and looking to be a more defensive boxer, or would you say that's not true?
Well, I'm still going to be the fighter I am. It's just in me, it's in the blood. It's we're just more smart. I mean, whenever we put an attack together, there's a reason why we're putting that attack together, and then there has to be a way out, or has to be a way to stay out of trouble doing that. So you can still be exciting, you can still come forward, you can still throw a lot of punches, but being careful at the same time. And that's what Floyd brought to the table, make me a better fighter. He's making me a fighter that understands everything, what I have to do in the ring, and sticks to that game plan.
Thanks very much. Good luck to you.
Right, thank you.
Our next question comes from Lem Satterfield with TheRingTV.com.
Hey, Amir, how are you?
Hello,
Is Virgil on the call also?
Yes.
Okay, question for both of you. How does Devon differ from Paul McCloskey and Zab Judah, if at all, in terms of his southpaw stance and the skills he brings to the table? Amir, can you address that? Because I know you had a little bit of problems with Paul McCloskey before that fight was ended, but you had to eat it.
No, I mean, I think the Paul McCloskey fight, I think we winning that fight comfortably. I mean, I think it got to it got to 5 rounds, and a head clash happened, and he was cut, but he didn't want to continue. But I was beating him every round before then. It was a clean win for me, really, till the headbutt happened. Against Collazo, I mean, same again, he's no southpaw, which I won every round, and I won that fight by a very wide margin. And then southpaw fought was Zab Judah. So I boxed really well against the southpaw guys. I mean, Devon would have been something else to the table, but I've got the confidence behind me that every southpaw I fought, I've beaten, and I've against as well. And that just helps me. And as long as I stick to my corner and listen to Virgil, I'll be fine in the fight.
How does what does Devon bring that
Devon brings hand speed to the table. I mean, he brings movement. Likes to be aggressive, likes to get on his bike sometimes. So we're going to be ready for whatever he brings to the table, and whatever he does, we're going to have answers for. So yeah, he's going to come to fight. It's a massive opportunity for him. He's going to Vegas, and obviously, he wants to put on a show. I've been to Vegas before. I've headlined there a few times, so I know exactly what to expect. So I'm going to be nice and calm, but it's a good time for him, and he should make the most of it.
Okay. Virgil, can you address what he said about Devon and how the fight maybe with Collazo helped to prepare him for this one, or is that a completely different fighter?
Two different fights. But as long as you have the proper mindset, you should be able to make the adjustments. So without doubt, as Amir said, Devon brings a lot of attributes to the fight, and you have to be able to adjust to those attributes at any given time, and that was the purpose of our camp, in order to try to negate whatever he brings. But it's no doubt that he brings a lot to the table.
Okay. And as far as, his improvement, you had said when you first got him that, it's going to take a while for him to break some old habits. Did he, in fact, do all of those things against Collazo? And why do you think it took that fight, a rise in weight? What all culminated in that fight?
I think one of the main things that happened that leading up to the Collazo fight is that we had a lot of time to work together. He was anticipating another fight, so he was coming here, and I was going to England, so we spent a considerable amount of time together. And during those times, we worked on things that we felt would enhance his ability and also make him more aware of what's going on in the ring. I would like to think that he has graduated tremendously to another level, but there are other levels to obtain. So he has a high bar set. I don't think he's reached that bar yet, but you can't continue to get better until you can continue to set the bar high. So I'm very happy and pleased where Amir is at this point in his career and at this point in our relationship.
I thank you so much, and good luck in the fight.
You're welcome.
Okay. And our next question comes from Robert Cartagena with Bay Area.
Hi, good morning. Yes, I'm here. Good morning.
Hi, yeah.
How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm good, thanks.
Good. So, of course, fight week, fight is Saturday night, and, of course, you've been going after that Mayweather fight for a few years. How important is it for you to make an emphatic statement in beating Devon Alexander Saturday night?
Well, when it comes to the Mayweather fight, I think every fighter in the welterweight division wants that big fight against Mayweather to see how they do against the best fighter. And as young fighters and as hungry fighters, you want to fight the best, and you want to beat the best, and you want to see how you do against the best. You never want to leave boxing one day thinking, what would have happened if I fought someone like Floyd? Styles make fights, and some styles cause problems to Floyd, and some styles I believe beat him, and some styles probably could be made for him. So really, you have to just go with the flow. But going into this fight, I know, look, this fight could lead. Winning this fight could lead to a massive fight. But to be honest with you, I'm not looking past this fight because I know it's a dangerous fight for me, and I've made that mistake before in the past. I used to look past the fights and fights that I should have gone in and won. So I'm not doing that anymore, and my team's taught me not to do that as well because look, I'm so young. I'm 27 and 28 today, and I'm still learning. And as a young fighter, I'm hungry, and I just have to sometimes pace myself and just stay calm really and see and be patient. That's the main thing, being patient. Taking my time, and whoever they put in front of me, deal with that person and take it a step at a time. So I'm not looking past this fight against Devon because it's going to be a tough fight for me, and we just have to stay focused and not really make any mistakes and look good against Devon.
Right. You've been working with Virgil Hunter for 2 years now. What's it been like working with Virgil? Excuse me. And with that 1 year that you took off following the Julio Diaz fight, what's the most you've improved on?
Yeah, working with Virgil Hunter, it's great, coming to the gym. It's not like it was in the wild card or anywhere else I've trained where the gyms are full and you've got people watching you and stuff. Whereas, we go into the gym, it's very isolated, it's very quiet, and it's good because you can focus on what you need to do, and you've got only people you have in the gym is your gym mates. That's it. And the gym might only have 5-6 people, and that's the most, and that's when it's busy. So I think that's what fighting needs, really, to focus. You don't need a big gym full of people. I mean, because sometimes that can distract you. Being young, and I'm such a nice person that if someone try to speak to me, I'll speak back to them, and I'll probably have stand there while I should be training. So really, we have a gym which is closed doors, and I focus on what Virgil's brought to the table. I mean, he's made me a better fighter. He's made me an understanding fighter to understand what boxing's all about and not making mistakes, and I'm not going back to my old self again. I mean, it's going to be in the blood where I love to fight, and everyone knows that. And I can come forward and fight you. I can box you. So I have all the abilities, but there's times and places for those things, And so with Virgil, he's maybe much smarter. We've done, for this fight, must have done over 160 rounds of sparring, which helps because the only way of putting it together and seeing where you are and seeing what you're up to is when you put it to work. And I put it to work against good sparring partners, and it worked against them. And I kept my focus, I kept my composure, and I know it's gonna definitely help me when it comes down Saturday, because I'm gonna be more focused, and I'm hungry. I really want to win this fight because this fight is a big fight for me.
Virgil, same question for you. What's it been like working with Amir, and what has stood out to you the most in the 2 years that you've trained together?
Well, again, I think any coach would enjoy working with a fighter such as Amir, who has such immense talent. And at the same time, at the time you're merging together. You're merging together after years of boxing, so you want to be careful how you make changes, and you want to be careful how you implement things. So it is a time process, and that time process is continuous. It hasn't stopped. It should never stop until the day that he retires. There's always room for improvement, room for growth, and then there's also adjustments that you have to make in your style and transitions and recreations as you get a little older. So you have to prepare for 30 when you're 28. So it's it's just something that we have committed to, and we just take it one fight at a time. We have a goal of being better in each fight, and that's how we've gone about it, and so far it's worked for us.
Thank you. Amir, how has this training camp gone so far?
Training camp's been great. I've been in training camp for 13 weeks and been working very, very hard, and we've mixed it up with a lot of strength conditioning, with a lot of technique work, lots of sparring, lots of trying new things out and working on them and improving my old style. Improving where I need to improve on, things I need to improve on, and it's been so much fun. I've had a great camp and been very focused. I've been watching the diet and eating clean as well, which I've understood a little bit better now, because when you eat clean, you train better. I mean, it's like putting good fuel in a car. It's going to drive better. So it's like as a fighter, you put good fuel in your body, you're going to work harder. And little things that I've learned, and I'm only becoming the full package. I've still got a lot of room of improvement yet, but I'm slowly learning, and I'm improving. That's the main thing. You can compare the Amir Khan 12 months ago to the Amir Khan now. I'm way ahead. I'm much better and much smarter, and hopefully on Saturday you'll see a massive difference. And I always say this because every fight I'm different. So you'll see a better Amir Khan going into this fight, smarter and a clever boxer.
Okay. In Devon's 2 previous losses to Timothy Bradley and Sean Porter, he was more not outboxed, but they were able to rough him up, make it very uncomfortable for him inside the ring. Do you feel any pressure, Amir, to try and outbox Devon to make your punches count and to earn those points on the scorecard?
Well, we're just going to stick with our game plan, and I know exactly what we're going to do in the fight is going to work for us. And, whatever them other fighters did, Sean or whatever Bradley did, and they beat him, that was their technique and that was their game plan. Now we have something, and we're going to have our own game plan, and we're going to stick to that. It's going to work for us. So, yeah, whatever they did, it worked, and it just shows that, some things can work against Devon, but we have our own style. My style is different to Bradley's and different to Sean Porter's, and I'm always different depending on my opponent, how I fight.
All right. And our next question comes from Jake Donovan with BoxingScene.com.
Hey, Amir, I just have one question for you. I know you said you're only looking on Devon Alexander, but how hard is it to not look towards the future, knowing that a Floyd Mayweather fight it's probably a lot closer than it was a year ago when you were promised a fight, but ultimately didn't get it?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's going to be tough, not looking past this fight, but obviously I made that mistake before, so that's what helps me to stay focused, and I never want to make that mistake again. But look, it's just have to stay focused, man. I mean, I'm not looking past it because I have a tough task in front of me. I'm not taking this fight lightly. It's going to be a tough fight, and I want to win this fight, and not only win it, but win it in good style, good fashion. And I want the fans, boxing fans, and the boxing world to demand a fight between me and Floyd. I don't want it to happen. I want people to demand it when they see Amir Khan in such a good fight. They're going to be like, wow, he should fight. He should fight Mayweather. I don't want people. I just don't want it to happen. I want people demanding it.
Cool. Thanks, Amir, and happy birthday to you as well. Virgil, I just have one question for you. Kevin said that because of your friendship with him, that is actually getting his juices flowing. He's looking forward to a rivalry. Do you ever look at a fight as training more for the fighter and actually training for who's in his corner as well? Do you get that same kind of vibe training for a fighter that's being trained by Kevin Cunningham?
Well, no, because it's a business, and Kevin and I knew years ago when we were developing fighters from scratch that these days would come, as well as all my other colleagues that came out of that 2004 class, Barry, Mike, and even Nazim and Leon Lawson. We knew these days were coming, and so you have to block them out. Look, there's always a measuring stick in this sport, and Devon Alexander is a tremendous measuring stick, and you're here to excel in both sides, and it's a contest, but it certainly will never, ever affect the friendship that we've built up over the years. But Saturday night we have to block it out, and we have to tend to the business at hand. So that's how you pretty much have to look at it.
Cool. All right. Thank you very much, Virgil. I appreciate it. Amir, best of luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next question comes from Sean Cross with Boxing Insider.
Hi, how are you? This question is just for Amir. Amir, it's nice speaking to you. Happy birthday, sir.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, sure. Listen, there's no doubt you're extremely skilled. I think you may actually be the fastest guy in the welterweight division right now. The question, however, obviously has been your chin over the years. What have you done to improve that, to keep, is there anything you can do? Is it leg work or whatnot to keep you from actually being hurt again if you're hit with a clean shot?
I mean, the shots I've got hit with in the past, I've run into those shots and I've been off balance, and and so when you get hit with a shot and you go down, I mean, I make it look worse because I'm not on the right balance. My footwork's all over the place, and I run into a shot. When you run into a shot, it's like you're getting hit twice as hard. So these are things that we've kind of cleaned up a little bit and been more smart about. When we attack and not jumping in with our chin in there and stuff like that. Really, I mean, whoever the shots I've been hit with, I think whichever fighter gets hit with those shots is going to go down. I mean, it's just the way I've made those mistakes going in and throwing a shot and not having no defense, and like I said, when you rush into a shot and you don't see the punch coming, it hurts you twice as much. So that's one thing people will probably understand. Boxers will understand. But we've cleaned up, and like I said, we're not we're not the fighter that we were before. I mean, look, we fought Claudio, we were much smarter. I think in the whole fight we probably got caught with one good shot. Other than that, I think everything else we were smart about because we didn't rush him and be silly about, fighting him or hurting him. So, it's, I'm slowly, I'm getting older, I'm getting wiser, and I'm getting more experience behind me. And yeah, come fight night, hopefully, we'll know exactly what to do. And against Devon, we know not to make mistakes, and we know he's quick. So, that makes you a little bit more on the edge, it makes you think more and makes you much more smarter because, you got a guy in front of you who's going to be quick and explosive and who wants to win. So, yeah.
Excellent. One more very quick question. Really, there seems to be a difference in you, and I don't want to say maturity because that sounds so condescending, but there seems to be a bit of I don't want to say self-satisfaction. You seem a lot more at ease now, and I'm just curious, how much of that has to do with Mr. Hunter?
I think it has a lot to do with Virgil because at the end of the day, Virgil, teaching me to stay calm in the gym and not rush and not get anxious and at times, knock people out and, not to make those mistakes. And, it's a 12-round fight. I mean, you don't go in there and try to knock your opponents out early. I mean, that's one thing I think what worked for me in the earlier fights was I just hurt my opponent so early in the fight that they never expected it. And then, and that kind of grew with me and stayed with me and stuck with me. And I started doing that all the time, starting quick because I just think I'll get my opponents cold. But now, it's a 12-round fight. I mean, if I have a good pace, I'll be smart in the fight. And as long as I stick to the way I fight, I don't think that anyone can beat me. I have the fastest hands in boxing and probably have one of the best boxing skills in the world. So if I just be smart and stick to those skills, I don't think I can have any problem with anyone. It's all about, when I lose that focus and I lose that, and I don't stick to that game plan, that's why I make mistakes. So yeah, we need to start being under Virgil Hunter, I'm much more smarter and I don't make no mistakes. I mean, we all make mistakes as young fighters, so I don't think the mistakes I used to make.
Great. Well, listen, it's been great talking to you. You're right. You're a very nice guy. I wish you all the best for Saturday night.
Well, thank you very much.
Bye.
And our last question comes from Inti Rashid with Asian Radio.
Hello. Salam, Amir.
Well done, you all right? How you doing?
Very good, thanks. Happy birthday to you. Hope you enjoy your time out there. First, Amir, it's your first fight since your daughter's been born. How does being a family man change your approach to training?
It helps, I think it helps you because at the end of the day, don't get me wrong, I miss my daughter, I miss my family and everyone. I've not seen my mom, my wife for a long time. So you miss them, but I think this only makes you a stronger fighter, makes you a focused fighter, and you know that, you can, all the sacrifices, to become a champion. And it's just when you show how serious I am in the sport of boxing and what I want to achieve from this sport of boxing. So, yeah, you miss them, but hopefully within straight after the fight, I'll get to see my family. Well, I'm going to see my mom probably tomorrow. I'll see her. She's in Vegas. I'll fly to Vegas late tonight. So, very late tonight, I'll see my mom. I'll see my wife and my baby girl in New York a day after the fight, like on a Monday or something. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to spend time with my family. And by the moment, they understand that I've got work and I'm a fighter. And, they know that, I need to focus and I can't make any mistakes or I can't be distracted in any way. I got to spend some time with them while I was in training camp, but, it's, you can't really spend much time with them because you can't really you are focusing on your job and it's quite hard. So, but now when I go home, I can spend some real family time with them.
Definitely. Amir, how's it been working with Virgil Hunter, and what have you guys been working on?
We worked on a lot of things, with Virgil. I mean, working on the defensive side of boxing, the offensive side of boxing, not making mistakes and not getting carried away, sticking to that game plan for fights. And since we've been doing that and in sparring, we put it to practice and we rehearsed it in sparring. It's been working for me. Plus, I've got a good strength conditioner, which is Tony Brady, who's been working me very hard as well and putting me in the right condition. So with Tony Brady and also Virgil putting the work together, I mean, I'm the total, I've got everything I needed in this training camp, and I feel so strong. I feel mentally prepared because I know I'm not cheating myself. I've done everything right. On top of all the hard training, I've been watching my diet, eating clean food, having the right nutrition, So that helps as well. That's that's one thing that most fighters probably leave out in the game is they might train very hard, but the nutrition's part. They never really focus on that. But as I'm getting older, I'm getting wiser, and I'm understanding the sport a little bit more. And every little bit helps you and makes you a better fighter. So I'm happy with the camp. The way the camp's gone, it's gone great, and I've got to work very hard and eat good and stay healthy.
So, Amir, you're fighting at the home of boxing, the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. What's the build-up been like? Has it been any different?
I've been when I've been on Twitter and I've been on going on to my Facebook and stuff. People have been posting pictures of when they're in Vegas, and these are normal holiday makers from the UK who have been tagging me in saying we're so happy to see Amir Khan, picture of Amir Khan, a guy who's from Britain, and I mean, it makes me happy because these people are on holiday and they see a big, huge picture of me. It just shows that the promotion is massive, and I want to thank my team, Golden Boy, I want to thank Al Heyman for doing all that because they promoted this fight really well, and everywhere you go in Vegas, you'll see posters of Amir Khan on billboards, on the hotels, and people are talking about the Amir Khan fight, and that's and fighting at the MGM Arena, which is a mecca of boxing. It's the best arena in the world, the biggest arena in the world when it comes to having fights there. You get the likes of Mike Tyson who fought there, Mayweather's home, he calls the MGM. So, to have a huge fight there, I mean, it's great. I fought in Vegas a few times, but at the MGM, it's going to be my second time, but this time, the first time was when I fought on the undercard of Mayweather, but this time it's going to be the Amir Khan show. So I'm looking forward to it, and this is only going to drive me and motivate me, to go out and do more in my career because at the age of 27, I've done so much and there's still a lot left in me.
Definitely. Amir, you're fighting a second southpaw in a row now. I mean, is this a sign that perhaps Manny Pacquiao is on the cards next?
Well, it could be like 3 in a row then, yeah, if it was Manny Pacquiao afterwards. I mean, look, I fight whoever they put in front of me, and with Golden Boy and everyone, we looked at the Clauser fight, which I think made sense. He won that fight against Victor Ortiz, and he was so I thought I beat him. And then I moved on, and there was Devon Alexander. Hopefully we beat Devon Alexander, then we see what the future holds for us. I mean, I really belong on the big stage, belong in the likes of, Mayweather, the Pacquiao out there to face them guys. So it's all about just being smart and picking the right fights at the right time and not making mistakes, but winning the fights. I mean, can't look past this fight against Devon because he's a very dangerous opponent for me at this stage. And I can't really look past it, being a week away. I've trained just for him. I focused on just Devon Alexander. But, yeah, I mean, I belong on the top elite, cream of boxing. And I really believe that, Amir Khan needs to fight, hopefully after this one. I do belong in the same ring as the likes of Mayweather, Pacquiao and them guys because, I've worked very hard my whole career. And hard work pays off. And, yeah, definitely, as long as I keep winning, stay focused in this fight, we'll get the win, and we'll move on from there.
Okay, that was our last question. So I believe I have to jump off, but Amir, can you make a closing statement? I know you're heading to Vegas, and happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you.
So if you could just close it out for us, and then we will see everybody in Vegas on Wednesday.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to all the media. You've been great. I mean, the promotion for this fight has been amazing. Having all you guys, supporting it, writing great articles. I've been reading them and stuff, and you've been very, it's been very motivating. Reading the stuff that you've been saying, and a lot of you have a lot of confidence in me to go out there and do this fight and look good and be the future of boxing. I also want to thank Oscar De La Hoya, Golden Boy Promotions, Al Heyman and the team. And Khan Promotions, and also, Devon's team for taking this fight. I mean, it's going to be an exciting fight. This is what boxing needs. It's coming towards the end of the year, and we need an explosive fight, a fight that, people are going to be on the edge of their seats, and this is what this fight's going to bring. So I hope you all tune in. It's going to be Showtime. I want to thank the Showtime team for their great promotion as well, and also they're going to be showing the fight. So I'm looking forward to it on Showtime. I hope you guys are tuned in. If you can't make it to the fight, it's on Showtime, and in the UK it's on Sky. So yeah, hopefully we can win the fight and move on from there. So thank you very much, everyone, and hopefully we'll see you in Vegas.